Live once again. We're rolling all the way till 1, and make sure you join us every Tuesdays, 12 to 1 p.m. right here on Nairabet TV via our Facebook page, and you can later on watch us on YouTube as well, and the nairabettv.com website as well. Okay, so let's come back home. Nigeria failed to win. I mean, most of us were caught in between United game and of course the Nigeria game, but we knew how important that was. The whole NFF and entourage is there. The future of the home-based, Eagles is there as well. We'll get to find out who will join, the other players in Russia. Were you impressed with that goalless draw yesterday?
No. No. And unfortunately, that's been the bane of the Chan Eagles. The inability to score. Same thing happened when they went for the Waffle Cup. They only scored in, I think it was their last group game. Yeah, and when they beat Ghana, they met Ghana again in the finals, lost out. But I can't. I refuse to castigate them or to blame them, because the truth of the matter, there's this old adage that if you fail to prepare, then you prepare to fail. I think the NFF has lumped all the eggs in the World Cup basket, and every other football team is suffering for that. I feel we all knew that CHAN was going to take place in January, and the preparation of the boys has been lackluster. The league entered I think on the 9th of September, and those boys haven't kicked a ball in anger since then. And friendlies were unprepared. They only had 2 friendlies: the Super 6 tournament in Kano, and then the friendly against the Indomitable Lions. And one weakness in their setup is that we have a very solid and well-organized defense and midfield, but in the final third, we don't take our chances. We don't create chances. We don't take our chances. And unfortunately, Coach Salisu Yusuf hasn't been able to sort it out. I wasn't particularly impressed with his...
You have a problem with Coach Salisu Yusuf?
Well,
technical abilities.
They're not scoring. So it's there for you to see there's a problem. If you don't score, you can't win games. We can't throw the baby out with the bathwater now. We have to beat Libya. Well, not necessarily have to beat them per se. We have to get it. We mustn't lose to them. If we get a draw, because they're quite good. They beat Equatorial Guinea easily. They're defending champions of the tournament. And if we can get at very worst a draw and then beat Equatorial Guinea in the last cup, they will get out of the group stage. So I feel that the minimum requirement for
we need to
Nigeria is
Rwanda is going to do as well in their next game.
Rwanda is up against Equatorial Guinea. Yeah.
If they beat Equatorial Guinea.
If they do, but that means they have to beat. Well, you're right. You can't really. It's calculated. Ideally,
with Rwanda at the moment.
Just 1 point. And in fairness to Rwanda, they finished the game stronger yesterday. Because it is. They were up against more fans in opposition, but by the time that they see that you can't really break them down, they start getting bolder and they get more confident and look like trying to sneak a goal.
So we actually allowed that happen.
We did. We're not being able to polish them up. We're not taking a chance. We're much more aggressive in the first half. In the second half, we kind of faded out. But for me, because I'm one of the protagonists or the defenders, protectors, dare I say, of the NPFL, I'm very, very keen on it. I want to see, I'd rather a player from the NPFL who's playing regularly in the NPFL goes to Moscow, goes to Russia. Than one or two players who are not named, who are, rather than a foreign-based Super Eagle who is just taking up space on the bench in his club. But if the club players cannot take the opportunity, because Gennaro is there, right there in Morocco. He's not going to be taking part in day-to-day running of the. I don't think he's going to influence Salisu's tactical decisions
and selection.
But he's going to be there watching them train.
Selections. I don't know if there's too much pressure on Anthony Opotu. We saw the game against Cameroon, the pre-tournament game, and we're saying, okay, let's wait until the tournament starts. And it's the same thing we're saying right now. We had the likes of Ifeanyi, Anthony Opotu, Rabiu Ali, and the likes of them all there. We didn't say Gabriel Okechukwu starts, but do you think that the problem is that grave Do you think it can be overturned in the game against Libya on Friday?
I don't think it's that grave. It would have been grave if we had lost. I mean, it's a tournament. I mean, if you go back to 2013, I remember watching opening game against Burkina Faso where we led till deep into injury time. Under Keshi then. And we ended up drawing. In fact, myself and from Dejomonte, we actually had an activation in Teslim Balogun, where one of the brands, one of the alcoholic brands, had well over 3,000-4,000 people. You know, it was a fantastic along with Jonathan Akpobere. And I remember the dampener, because there was a lot of drink flowing and everything, were bubbling at 1-0. But by the time Burkina Faso equalized in the dying minutes, it killed the mood. And then from then on, I now went to SA to actually watch Nigeria play. Was it who did we play in next year? I think it was Zambia. It was Zambia, yeah. Zambia. It was another draw, another disappointment. We were leading, then we considered a penalty or something, you know. Then from there we had to go to beat.
I mean that turned out to be our best CHAN outing ever.
No, it wasn't CHAN. It was Cup of Nations.
Okay, the Cup of Nations.
Cup of Nations. I'm talking about Cup of Nations.
Well, come back to CHAN. I mean, the freshest in my memory has to be 2016.
Yeah.
Because I was there live. We saw Nigeria lead the group, top the group until the final day, and we crashed out. And I was like, come on. You know, how can we top the group and then on the final day we crash out?
That was under Olise.
Under Olise.
You're kidding me.
I'm telling you, we were top of the group. Chisom Chikatara scored 4 goals in the first game.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Tournament.
Yeah, I do.
And then we played Tunisia. We could
have scored by 8.
You know, and then we crashed out on it. You know, so the CHAN tournament, which was just before the one of 2016, Olise was there. Keshi.
Yeah, Keshi. We finished third.
We finished third. So we're looking at this CHAN tournament really. So already we're hearing that, you know, CAF wants to strike it out and all that. Do you think that this will be a true test, you know, for this home-based Super Eagles?
One, CHAN shouldn't strike it out. 2, it should be a wonderful opportunity for the home-based Super Eagles. And what I'm saying now is, I'm saying that they shouldn't panic. Yes, it wasn't a particularly impressive performance yesterday, but it's always about the next game. Yesterday's game has gone. We got a point. It's about the next game. If we can turn up and take our chances against Libya, then all well and good, because I can't read the future. You know, nobody can. But that's what the coaching crew is about. They're there to rectify. Because, as I said, it would be a shame if the people that are always talking down our league, talking down our local players, if they're the ones that now say, you know what, we told you so, that local players aren't good enough. Our squad to the World Cup will consist practically, you know, totally of foreign-based players, maybe with the exception of Ikechukwu Ezenwa. I don't want that. I want the situation like this, just like Keshi did in 2013. 3, 4, 5 home-based players, one of whom, Sonoba, was scoring in the semi-finals and scored the winning goal in the finals. Hey, that's what we want, you know, for the growth of it. So it's in the hands of the players. It's not going to get into the pitch with them. Manjupini is not going to enter the pitch with them. You see the whites of the goal, put the ball inside the net and don't balloon it over the bar. It's for them to do.
We're talking about the local players. Finally, well, it had to clash the commencement of the Nigerian League and the CHAN as well. That means that, of course, some teams would have been missing.
Yeah, some of the key players.
But it went down all the same, and we saw interesting results as well. After match day 1, Akwa United are on top of the table, and after beating Rangers 2-0, impressive.
Yeah,
Niger Tornadoes are second, Abia Warriors are third, Ifeanyi Uba are fourth. At the bottom is Go Round FC, Enugu Rangers, Kwara United, MFM, 17th to 20th. Your brief assessment of, you know, what happened on match day 1.
My brief assessment of what is that I'm not happy with what happened. Why? My beef is Plateau United surprised me by going away to Nasarawa and winning in Lafia, but crowd violence,
that's right,
very, very upsetting. And I think the NMC, the next round of games is tomorrow. I think the NMC have heard nothing but deafening silence from the NMC. The same thing in Katsina, dodgy officiating, and another the litter of penalties being given, to the so-called right result. The home side got the right result, and on top of that, crowd violence and harassment of the match officials. You know what? That really cheeses me off.
The referee was stripped naked as well.
Well, attendable they tried to, and you know.
Okay, I tried to.
Well, a lady referee tried to. It's total out of bounds.
After Nasarawa lost at home. That was sad though.
And it's George, it's infuriating. I mean, what's the point?
Typical of what we saw happen in the first day of the last season as well. I think that was in Enugu.
Was that was if I remember in Kano? Remember?
Kano. That was later. No, Rangers had the first. I think the first game of the season we saw one sort of restiveness that occurred though.
Yeah.
What about Ifeanyi Ubah?
Okay, no, Ifeanyi was misbehavior from the PS. They walked off. Yes, you're right. That was good. That was the clear.
Just in case we missed it though, I'm sure everyone's is filled up with the scoreline. Hatland and Sunshine played a goalless draw. Plateau United, we hear that's a record, first defending champion.
Yeah, they generate. I mean, for the first, I think it's 20, but winning the first game.
Yeah, 1-0 away at Nasarawa United. Wagwa scored that goal. Rivers United pipped El Kanemi 1-0. Stanley Guma is still in charge of Rivers. A great one. When we saw lots of clubs, they've overhauled their technical crew. Abia Warriors with Raphael Everton, the former coach of Ifeanyi, is now their coach. 2-0 against MFM, who are bound to represent Nigeria on the continent. Katsina United and Pillars, that was the first game of the season on Saturday. 2-2. Tornadoes won away at Kwara United. FC Fayamba beat Yobe as the Stars 2-1. Wiki beat Go Round 1-0. Aqua with 2-0 better than Rangers. Lobi Stars and Aimba ended 1-1 as well. Interesting starts. Junior Lacosta scored the first goal of the season. I think that was for which team? Katsina. And Plateau United became the first title holders to win the first game of the season since 2013. 7 debutants scored on the opening day of the season. We have their names here, but time would not permit as well. We saw 18 goals on match day 1, 5 home wins, 3 draws, 2 away wins. The top scorer goes so far is Ndefreke Effiong of Abia Warriors. 1 red card went to Victor Dennis. I'm not sure which club he plays for. And we saw 4 penalties awarded, 2 converted as well. We'll be back and talk more, yeah?
And Heartland were the only newly promoted club to get a point.
Wow.
Yeah, the other 3 lost. Go Round, Kwara United, and Yobe Desert Stars.
Well, until we come your way again on Soccer Bites, and anytime you see us flash on your screens on Nairabet TV, I've been Georges, yeah? And it's been a pleasure having the world-renowned international analyst, Segun the Pundit.
I remain Segun. Always happy, always will be.
Always sympathizing with Manchester.
Always Manchester United tendencies, whatever.
All right, thanks, guys. Make sure you're playing on www.nairabet.com. That's where the big bucks is. Order rush.